So, with
Now I believe we
Macho
enter.
Man defeated, the Ultimate
Yes.
Warrior,
Yes.
who, at the time of this recording, passed away only a few months ago.
About a month ago.
Yeah, a month ago. Okay, yeah. Jim Hellwig. Although I guess although later his legal name actually became Warrior.
The Warrior.
The Warrior.
Or is it?
I think it was just Warrior.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can put articles in legal names.
Well, I don't see why not, but I guess.
No, I believe that was like mostly like a copyright thing, wasn't it? So that he could, because like the Ultimate Warrior character was owned by WWE,
Yeah.
so he could to continue calling himself. So he actually changed his actual name to Warrior.
Yes.
Now you told me before, and you have never heard of the Ultimate Warrior comic book.
No, I haven't.
It didn't last that long. It, like less than 10 issues, I think. But yeah, there was this Ultimate Warrior comic book where he was like. He was like, I don't know, from what I've seen, he seemed like a sort of like super muscle-bound, like Conan the Barbarian warrior guy or something. You know, and like there's this whole thing about Destrucity that it goes on like this whole, and then there's the bizarre Christmas episode or Christmas issue where I'm not sure how to put this. He sexually enslaved Santa Claus. He I wish I was making this up. It's like, Santa like comes down, Warrior just like beats the crap out of Santa Claus, strips him almost nude, and has him in bondage or something.
Oh God.
And I don't know why, except that Jim Hellwig, God rest his soul, was a crazy man, and at least in 1996 he was.
Yeah, I can see that. Good Lord.
It's. I don't know who it was. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, other than him. I'm looking. Oh, okay. It was self-published.
Oh, great. Yeah. Excellent.
And written by him.
Hey, you know who? You know who else wrote a WWE comic book? Mick Foley.
Does he defile any beloved holiday characters?
Not that I know of. It's like a film noir, crime mystery, with every member of the modern WWE and some old WWE folks in different roles. It's actually kind of neat.
Does Destrucity, is the power of Destrucity invoked at any point?
I couldn't tell you. I would have to read it again.
Okay, so what match is this now?
This is the Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania VI.
Now, who are we playing as?
We will be playing as Warrior.
Okay.
And historically, one of the things to note is that this is the first match, I believe, that the WWE has as a main event. That
it was like
is
a face versus face, more or less?
face match.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Warrior was a babyface as well.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
I don't know.
Well, wasn't Warrior like the Intercontinental Champion or something?
Yes, he was the IC champion, and Hogan is the WWE champion.
Okay.
Or WWF.
So it's just the winner would have both belts?
Yeah, title for title.
Okay.
One thing you'll notice about this game is that they very heavily washed this game of the WWF branding.
Oh, to make it say WWE instead?
Yeah. Any footage in the vignette that just happened, Hogan has WWF on the front of his bandana, and instead there's just a giant blur.
What, like they're hiding there's like a witness at a mafia trial and they're hiding his identity?
Yeah, right on Hogan's headband.
I kind of like to imagine that, like, if there's just, if there's a blur over his headband, it's because there's like something obscene on it. They have to censor it out for decency's sake.
Hogan will humble you.
So, like, apparently, like, you watch, like, all the old WWF match tapes, and apparently back in the 80s, there was just lewd imagery everywhere.
There's just pictures of dicks everywhere. It was a different time.
It wasn't. People think that sort of, you know, edgy stuff started with the Attitude Era, but no.
No. Well, I know what lies I will be telling my children in the future. Why are there blurs everywhere? Oh, you know, son, there were just penises all over the place back then. It was a very weird time before I was born, so I couldn't tell you. Alright, title for title.
Yeah, we've never fought against Hogan in any of these matches before, so this is
no, and Hogan is a formidable opponent in that he will reverse stuff.
Well, so he's got his prayer. He's got the prayers and the vitamins and the training.
Yeah. So historically, this is often heralded as one of the best WWE matches to ever take place.
Okay.
And you know, there's a lot of talk about wrestling being scripted. Yes. You know, surprise, it's not real. But
except the story of Warrior defiling Santa Claus. That is a true story.
Oh yes, it's very unfortunately true.
I'm sorry, you were saying?
The actual thing is, in the match that took place at WrestleMania VI was scripted. It was 100% scripted. Hogan and Warrior, you know,
like down to individual moves, or
yeah, God rest his soul, were both notorious for being poor in-ring performers.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't like to improvise. You know, Hogan obviously only had a set of moves that he felt confident doing. And Warrior was pretty notorious for botching moves and was dangerous in the ring.
Okay.
And so this whole match was rehearsed from the start to the finish. Every spot, every, you know, finish, everything.
Interesting.
They practiced it repeatedly all the way up until the main event to ensure that the crowd got a great show and that both performers
came
off looking good. Yes. More importantly, nobody died. This was the #1 and #2 hottest product in the WWE, WWF at the time, and so obviously they didn't want either of them getting horribly injured.
This is back when Warrior was doing those wonderful, like, completely nutsoid insane promos.
Oh god, yeah.
He's talking about Destrucity and calling upon the powers of the gods above, and murdering the crew of an airplane to crash it with Hulk Hogan aboard. And
did you ever hear that one where Hogan accused Warrior of drinking the devil's butt sweat?
Of being a servant of Satan? Yes.
Or not? Maybe it was armpit sweat. I can't remember.
Drinking from the devil's armpit. Yeah, it was something like the devil's armpit. Drinking the sweat of the devil's armpit or something.
Because he's like keeps making references to the gods, and Hogan, as opposed, only
it's monotheism versus polytheism at WrestleMania 6.
So there's the Gorilla Press. Big splash. That is my finishing move, and it barely put damage into him. All right, now Hogan is using the comeback, and I'm really afraid of
the whole Hogan Warrior feud. It was actually an allegory for the rise of Christianity in the late Roman Empire. It was too deep, and a lot of people didn't really get it at the time.
Yeah, it was ahead of its time. You know, Hogan and Warrior were actually not that big fans of each other in real life.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they were both fairly sizable egos, weren't they?
Yes.
Yeah,
very large.
Makes sense that they would collide.
And I think like one of the big things is Hogan did not want to go over clean to Warrior.
Oh, okay. Oh, I noticed the ref is incapacitated. Is that supposed to happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this also happened in the historical match.
I noticed all your historical objectives are hidden now.
Yes.
Will they be revealed at some point, or do you just have to figure them out yourself?
Yeah, usually like right when something happens, they'll show. Okay. Or when I get Hulk Hogan to a good amount of damage.
Okay, but you're saying they didn't really care for each other in real life.
Yeah, Hulk did not want to go over clean.
Didn't want to lose clean. Okay.
Warrior, and Warrior was not happy, obviously, that Hulk Hogan didn't respect him, and so a lot of the like there's a lot of intensity in those promos.
Oh, now the objectives have unlocked. I see.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
A lot of the intensity where they're just screaming at each other and yelling, and Warrior's paint is dripping. The screaming is very, very heated, but very, very much fueled by.
So there's like a lot of genuine anger in that.
Real life intensity.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Did Warrior actually try to crash any airplanes that Hogan was on, or?
Not that I know of.
Force my way into the cockpit, Hulk Hogan. Knock out the pilots who have already made the sacrifice. Hulk Hogan. Plunge into a nosedive.
Oh, those snorts. Those snorts are so good. And so here's the classic Hogan hulking up, Warrior doing the straight punches. It's really funny, like when you watch the actual tape, because it really feels like they don't actually regard each other.
Like what? Like the disdain? You can see like the disdain.
Like this like the disdain, the rivalry. Like they're both really struggling to, put up with one another.
Really? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
And so here's Hogan's gonna miss his leg drop, which leads to an ultimate splash.
Ooh.
Here's the pin. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And so you see at the end.
I can't help but point out that doing that with your knees would not really do anything to help keep his shoulders down.
No, obviously.
I'm nitpicking.
At the very end, you see how Hogan kicked out at 3.
Oh, like he wanted to make it look like he almost got away.
Yeah, that is also real life, unscripted.
So that wasn't part
Hogan
of the plan. That was just him. He didn't want to put Warrior over any more than he had to, or something.
Not cleanly, yeah. He wanted to make it look like he was very, very close to.
Oh wow,
coming out.
That's kind of dickish.
Yeah. Oh, this also was not supposed to happen. Hogan coming in to give him the belts.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Hogan definitely loves the spotlight.
Now, which of those two belts is the world title and which is the Intercontinental?
The Intercontinental title was the yellow-looking strap.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to look more white than yellow. Yeah. The white-looking IC title has always been the best-looking belt, in my opinion. It just looks nice. But,
And so ends WrestleMania VI.
Yes.
Destrucity is triumphant.
And I'm slowly getting...
Whatever the hell
better.
it is.
Alright, so we're going to move on to 7.
Oh, yes! Yes! Yes!